My son was talking on the phone. Mom doesn't understand anything anyway, he said. She doesn't know English, she'll just sign it. I was standing next to him. I sipped my tea, I smiled, and at that moment I decided, enough is enough. If this story touched your heart, click subscribe and let me know in the comments which city or country you're listening from. I'm genuinely curious where you're watching from. I'm grateful to everyone who comments. My name is Rosa Martinez. I am 68 years old and I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Perhaps while listening to this story, you are wondering, how could a mother play such a game against her own son? But let me tell you, I wasn't the one who started the game. I just learned the rules, and I used them skillfully. It was 1976. I was 18 years old and had come to Arizona from Guadalajara. My sister Maria was with me. We had 2 suitcases, and our hearts were filled with immense hope. Have you ever imagined leaving everything behind at just 18 years old? Your language, your family, everything you knew? The first year was terrible. I worked cleaning, in hotels, homes, offices. My hands smelled of detergent. My back ached, but I didn't complain. Because just being in America was a luxury back then. When I was 22, I met Daniel. Daniel Martinez, 3rd-generation Mexican-American. He spoke English, worked at a car repair shop, and went to church every Sunday. His family didn't like me. To them, I was fresh from Mexico, a newly arrived, uneducated girl. But Daniel didn't care. We got married in 1980. That's when I noticed something. Daniel's family spoke English around me, and I pretended not to understand. At first, I really didn't understand, but over time, my ear got used to it. The words started to make sense. One day, Daniel's mother was talking to her brother-in-law. "This girl just wants a green card," she said. I was sewing in the living room. I didn't even look up. But that night, while Daniel was sleeping, I cried in bed. Has anyone you love ever belittled you like that? But the next morning I made a decision. It didn't matter what they thought of me. What mattered was knowing what they were doing. And to do that, it was enough to understand English. But I couldn't let them know I spoke English. In 1982, my son Marcus was born. A baby with blonde hair and blue eyes. He took after Daniel. In 1985, my daughter Elena came along. She looked like me. Black hair, dark eyes, Mexican beauty. Raising children taught me one thing. People say everything when they think you don't understand them. Mothers at the playground, cashiers at the supermarket, doctors, teachers, neighbors. They stood right next to me and talked as if I were invisible. When Marcus was 10, he came home from school one day. "Mom is so embarrassing," he told his friend on the phone. "She can barely speak English. I have to translate everything for her. Like she's speaking Arabic. I have to translate everything." That evening at dinner, I asked him in Spanish, "How was school, sweetie?" "It was good, Mom," he said with a smile. I thought to myself, "You think I'm embarrassing, Marcus? How many times have I cleaned up after you? How many times have I washed my hands so your school uniform would be spotless?" But I didn't say anything. I just smiled and served him more food. Daniel was a good man. He loved me, I'm sure of that. But he was also under his family's influence, especially my mother-in-law, Dolores. Dolores said she was helping us, but she was actually controlling us. She spoke English to Marcus and Elena, but Spanish to me, as if I were from another world. One day, Dolores was talking to Daniel in the kitchen. I was cooking. "You need to think about your future, Daniel," she said. "What if something happens to you? Rosa won't even be able to handle the paperwork. She can't read English." "What if something happens to you? Rosa can't even handle the paperwork. She can't read English," Daniel replied. "Mom, Rosa is smart. She'll figure it out." But Dolores continued, "Put everything in Marcus's name, just to be safe. Rosa won't mind. She trusts you. Put everything in Marcus's name, just to be safe. Rosa won't mind. She trusts you." I stopped cutting the potatoes. Slowly, I put the knife down on the table. I took a deep breath. Have you ever caught someone you trusted making plans behind your back? I didn't ask Daniel anything that night, but the next day, I went to a library in the city center. I asked for a book there, Real Estate Law for Beginners. The librarian looked at me strangely. "Do you read English?" he said slowly, as if I were mentally challenged. "A little bit," I said with a smile. "For my son." I took the book home, and every night, after everyone was asleep, I read it at the kitchen table. I had a dictionary next to me, writing down every word. In 1998, Daniel had a heart attack. He was 45. He was so young. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Marcus was 16 at the time. Elena was 13. Sitting in the hospital room, the doctors were talking to Marcus. Not to me, but to him. As if I wasn't even there. Your father's condition is serious, the doctor said. We need to discuss treatment options. Your father's condition is serious. We need to discuss treatment options. Marcus nodded, trying to look mature. I understand, doctor. The doctor continued. There's also the matter of medical decisions. Does your mother have power of attorney? There's also the matter of medical decisions. Does your mother have power of attorney? Marcus looked at me. Then he turned back to the doctor. I don't think so. My grandmother usually handles those things. I don't think so. My grandmother usually handles those things. Something broke inside me at that moment. My husband was dying, and even my son didn't trust my decisions. That night, while Daniel was sleeping, I held his hand. I whispered in Spanish, "Forgive me, amor, but now I have to fight my own battle." Daniel recovered. Thank God. But that incident changed me. I was no longer just a listener. I was going to be a planner. In 2003, Marcus married Jennifer. Jennifer was a white girl from Denver. She had blonde hair, blue eyes, and worked in the marketing department. And she looked down on me. At the wedding, Jennifer's mother tried to talk to me, loudly, slowly, as if I were deaf. You look very nice, Rosa. Thank you, I said quietly. Inside, I was thinking in English, and you look like you've had too much Botox, Patricia. Jennifer changed Marcus. Or maybe Marcus was always like that, and I just didn't want to see it. After they got married, they came over less often. They called less often. And when they did come over, Jennifer was constantly on her phone, while Marcus was talking to his dad in the car. At a Thanksgiving dinner, Jennifer was on the phone in the kitchen. I was doing the dishes. Yes, Mom, she said. No, we won't stay long. Marcus said we'd leave after dessert. His mother doesn't speak English anyway, so it's not like we can have a real conversation. Yes, Mom. No, we won't stay long. Marcus said we'd leave after dessert. His mother doesn't speak English anyway, so it's not like we can have a real conversation. I continued washing the plate slowly. The sound of the water drowned out my anger. Have you ever felt like a stranger in your own home? In 2007, Elena graduated from college. She became a nurse. I was proud of her. She had always been close to me. She understood me. Or so I thought. One day, Elena came home. She was crying. Mama, I broke up with Brad, she said in Spanish. I hugged her. I stroked her hair. What happened, mija? He doesn't want to marry me. We've been together for 4 years, but he says he was just having fun. Her heart was broken. I made her tea, held her, comforted her. But the next week, Elena was talking to Marcus on the phone. I was watering the flowers in the garden. The window was open. Yeah, I told her, Brad and I broke up, Elena said. She was being so dramatic about it, I just needed her to calm down. No, I didn't tell her the real reason. What's the point? She wouldn't understand anyway. Yes, I told her Brad and I broke up. She was being so dramatic she needed to calm down. No, I didn't tell her the real reason. What's the point? She wouldn't understand anyway. I stopped watering the flowers. The hose was in my hand. Water was dripping onto the ground. My own daughter, even my daughter was lying to me, because I wouldn't understand. Daniel died in 2010. He was 62, second heart attack. This time he didn't make it. I didn't cry at the funeral. Isn't that surprising? My wife of 30 years died, and I didn't cry, because I knew that if I cried, I wouldn't be able to stop, and I had to stop. At the funeral, Marcus and Elena were talking to people. They were saying, "Thank you for coming. Dad would have appreciated it. Thank you for coming. Dad would have appreciated it." I was sitting in the corner, in my black dress, my hands in my lap. People came up to me, offering their condolences in Spanish. I thanked them. But I heard Marcus whisper to Jennifer, "Look at her. Not a single tear. She doesn't even feel it. Look at her. Not a single tear. She doesn't even feel it." Have you ever had to hide your deep pain from others? Have you ever had to lock your tears inside, afraid they'd be used against you? That night at home, after everyone had left, I opened Daniel's closet. I took out his shirt and smelled it. It still carried his scent motor oil, aftershave, the smell of coming home. And there, in our dark bedroom, I cried silently. 42 years of marriage, 42 years. And my son thought I wasn't crying. The next day, the lawyer came to read Daniel's will. I, Marcus, Elena, and Jennifer sat in the living room. Attorney Mr. Thompson began speaking. Daniel's will is straightforward. The house goes to Rosa, his wife. His savings are split between Marcus and Elena. The auto shop business goes to Marcus. Daniel's will is clear. The house goes to his wife Rosa. The savings are divided between Marcus and Elena. The auto shop goes to Marcus. Marcus nodded. That makes sense. The lawyer continued. However, there's a clause here. If Rosa wishes to sell the house, Marcus has first right of refusal. However, there's a clause here. If Rosa wants to sell the house, Marcus has the right of first refusal. Why would that be in there? I asked in Spanish. Elena translated. The lawyer explained. Daniel wanted to make sure the family home stayed in the family. Daniel wanted the family home to stay in the family. It made sense. But that night, while going through Daniel's old notebooks, I found something. Dolores's handwriting, dated 2009, suggestions for clauses to add to Daniel's will. And there, it was written clearly. Add clause for house sale. This protects Marcus if Rosa remarries or makes poor decisions. Add a clause for the house sale. This protects Marcus if Rosa remarries or makes poor decisions. Bad decisions. Remarrying. As if I were some woman who would betray Daniel's memory after 30 years of marriage. I slowly closed the notebooks. I turned off the light. And I sat in the dark. So I ask you, what should a woman do after being belittled, looked down upon, and deemed unable to understand for years? That night, in that dark living room, I found the answer too. She must fight, but wisely. It was early 2011. 3 months had passed since Daniel's death, and I was no longer poor widow Rosa. I was Rosa with a plan. First step, find out exactly how much we had. Daniel's papers were in the closet bank accounts, repair shop ledgers, insurance policies. I took them all out and spread them on the kitchen table. Marcus showed up unannounced one day. He still had the key. When he walked into the kitchen, he found me sitting at the table, surrounded by papers. Mom, what are you doing? He asked in surprise. Mom, what are you doing? I looked up, feigning surprise. Mijo, estos papeles. No entiendo. Son, these papers. I don't understand. Marcus relaxed. Don't worry, Mom. I'll handle all this. You don't need to stress about it. Don't worry, Mom. I'll take care of all this. You don't need to stress about it. He gathered the papers. I'll take these to my office. Jennifer and I will organize everything. I'll take these to my office. Jennifer and I will organize everything. Gracias, mijo, I said softly. But as he walked out the door, there was the photocopier I had hidden under the desk. I had made a copy of every single document, every single one. Have you ever felt like someone was helping you, not to protect you, but to control you? 2 weeks later, Marcus came back. He had brought a file. Mom, sit down. We need to talk, he said. Mom, sit down. We need to talk. I sat down. I folded my hands in my lap, like an obedient mother. Dad's business. It's not doing well. There are debts. The house. We might need to think about selling it. Dad's business. It's not doing well. There are debts. The house. We might need to think about selling it. Sell the house? I said, panic in my voice. Sell the house? Don't worry, Mom. You can live with us. We have that guest room. It'll be perfect for you. Don't worry, Mom. You can live with us. We have that guest room. It'll be perfect for you. The guest room. After my own home, the guest room. But my things, my memories, I said, my eyes welling up. But my things, my memories. We'll keep everything important. Trust me. We'll keep everything important. Trust me. That night, after Marcus left, I took out the papers I had photocopied, the repair shop's financial records. Daniel had no debts. On the contrary, The business had been profitable for the last 3 years, a net income of $180,000 per year. But Marcus's papers showed different figures: fake expenses, inflated costs, non-existent debts. I got my phone. I called the Arizona Bar Association. I asked for a Spanish-speaking lawyer. They gave me Maria Gonzalez. Maria and I met the next day. At Starbucks, somewhere Marcus wouldn't know about. "Mrs. Martinez," Maria said in Spanish, "these documents are very interesting. It seems like your son is lying to you." "I know," I said, "but I have to pretend I don't speak English." "Not yet." Maria smiled. "Smart woman. What do you want to do?" "I want to know everything. The real value of the garage, the value of my house, and I want to know my rights." Over the following months, I learned a lot. Maria explained Arizona real estate laws to me. When Daniel died, the house automatically passed to me. But if I wanted to sell it, Marcus had a first right of refusal, the right of first refusal. "What does that mean?" I asked. "If you want to sell the house, you must first offer it to him. If he doesn't want to buy it, you can sell it to someone else." "What about the repair shop?" "The repair shop went to Marcus under Daniel's will. But look here." Maria showed me a piece of paper. "Daniel's business is a company, Martinez Auto Repair LLC. And you own shares in the company, 30%. My eyes widened. "How?" "Daniel restructured the company in 2008. He made you a 30% partner. But I guess he never told you about it. Have you ever lived for years without realizing you owned something?" In the summer of 2011, Marcus came to my house again, this time with Jennifer. Jennifer was carrying a file, wearing her professional smile. "Rosa," said Jennifer. She never called me Mom. "We found a solution for the house situation." "We found a solution for the house situation." She pulled out a piece of paper. "This is a quitclaim deed. If you sign this, you transfer the house to Marcus. He'll handle all the paperwork, all the stress. And you can live here as long as you want. No rent, nothing. This is a quitclaim deed. If you sign this, you transfer the house to Marcus. He'll handle all the paperwork, all the stress, and you can live here as long as you want. No rent, nothing." I looked at the paper. Of course I understood what it was, but I had a look of bewilderment on my face. "I don't understand. What does it say here?" Marcus came over to me. "Mom, it's okay. Just sign here. Trust me. This is better for everyone." I took the pen. I held it in my hand, pretending it was shaking. Marcus and Jennifer were smiling. Then I put the pen down. "Wait," I said the first English word I ever said to Marcus. "Wait." Marcus's face changed. "Mom?" I turned the paper over and read it carefully. Then I looked at Marcus, this time directly into his eyes. "This is a quitclaim deed," I said slowly but clearly in English. "This house is mine. Daniel left it to me. What do you want, Marcus?" Silence. Jennifer's mouth fell open. Marcus froze. "Mom, you speak English?" Marcus said, his voice trembling. "For 45 years," I said calmly. "I understand every word, every conversation, every lie." Jennifer jumped up. "Marcus, we need to go." But Marcus was sitting there, in shock. "How long? How long have you known?" "When Daniel's mother told me in 1995 that I had to keep it from you until you ran the company. When I found out in 2003 that Elena had turned down a college scholarship, but told me she wasn't accepted. When you took out a loan in 2007 and then came to your father saying it was for an investment." Marcus's face went pale. "Every phone call, every whisper, every plan. I heard it all, Marcus, because you forgot something." "What?" Marcus asked, his voice hoarse. "Being invisible is a superpower." Everything changed after that day. Marcus and Jennifer left and didn't return for weeks. Elena called. "Mom, Marcus is really angry. What did you do?" I answered in Spanish. "I just told the truth, mija." "But why didn't you ever tell me that you speak English?" "Because if I hadn't, I would never have found out who you really are." Elena was silent. Then, I never did anything bad to you. Brad didn't leave you, Elena. You left him because his family wasn't rich. Jennifer told me this while you were in the bathroom. She said, Elena finally learned to date smart. Elena finally learned to date smart. Elena gasped. Mom. Also, the $15,000 collected for your father's surgery in 2009, did Marcus give you that money? Because it never reached your father. She hung up the phone. Have you ever had a moment when you realized you didn't really know your loved ones? That moment hurts, but it also liberates you. In September 2011, Maria Gonzalez arranged a meeting. Marcus, Elena, me, and 2 lawyers, Maria and Marcus's lawyer, Mr. Henderson. When Marcus entered the office, his face was angry. Elena was restless, avoiding eye contact. Let's get this over with, said Marcus. Maria opened her file. Mr. Martinez, my client, Mrs. Rosa Martinez, is claiming her 30% share in Martinez Auto Repair, LLC. This share was transferred to her by your father in 2008. Marcus objected. She didn't even know about it. She wasn't even aware of it. Whether she was aware or not doesn't matter. I said in English, the shares are mine, and I want the financial records for the last 3 years, because the figures you showed me don't match the real figures. Mr. Henderson interjected, Mrs. Martinez, these are very serious allegations. They're not accusations, they're facts. Maria pulled out a file. From 2009 to 2011, the repair shop made $540,000 in profit. Mrs. Martinez's share is $162,000. Marcus, you never paid my client. Marcus stood up angrily. You're my mother. I was protecting you. You were protecting yourself, I said calmly. Not me. Elena started crying. Mama, please. This is family. We can work this out. Mom, please. This is family. We can work this out. I looked at her. My daughter. My beautiful daughter. Elena, have you ever told me the real reason why you left Brad? She fell silent. Did you ever tell me where the $15,000 your father left you is? She cried more. Family is based on trust, mija, and trust comes with honesty. Neither of you have ever been honest with me. Marcus slammed his fist on the table. Fine, you want your money? Take it, but don't expect us to be around anymore. All right, you want your money? Take it, but don't expect us to be around anymore. I got up, grabbed my bag. As I walked toward the door, I turned around. Marcus, I have a question. You're my son. I carried you for 9 months. I almost died giving birth to you. I nursed you, raised you, sent you to school. But to you, was I just someone to sign papers? Marcus didn't answer. Because if that's the case, then yes, you're right. We won't be by your side anymore. Because I'm not that woman anymore. I closed the door and left. The following months were difficult. Marcus and Elena didn't call. I was alone during the holidays. I decorated the Christmas tree by myself. I drank champagne alone on New Year's Eve. But I was free. In February 2012, Marcus's lawyer made an offer. He wanted to buy my share of the garage for $100,000. Maria laughed. They owe you $162,000, and the share is currently worth $200,000. He's offering $100,000. What's your answer? No, I said. Marcus got angry. He sent threatening emails. He pressured me through lawyers. One day he even came to my house and started banging on the door. Mom, open the door. We need to talk. I opened the door. Marcus, leave, or I'll call the police. You've changed, he said, his eyes filled with a mix of anger and pain. You're not my mother anymore. You're right, I said quietly. Your mother was the woman who sat quietly in the corner and said yes to everything. That woman is dead. I am Rosa, and I know how to fight. In April 2012, I filed a lawsuit against Marcus, Elena, and the repair shop. I demanded an audit of the financial reports, payment of the amount owed, and recognition of my rights in the company. The Latino community in Phoenix heard about it because Maria gave an interview to the local newspaper. A mother remained silent for 45 years. Now she is speaking out and demanding justice. People started sending me messages of support. Women came up to me at church. Rosa, you are our hero. We have been silent for years too. But one woman, an elderly Mexican woman, took my hand and cried. Mi hija hace lo mismo, she said. My daughter is doing the same thing, pero no puedo pelear. Soy muy vieja. But I can't fight. I'm too old. You're never too old for the truth, I said. You're never too old for the truth. So I ask you, does your silence help others control you, or does it protect you? The case went to court. In January 2013, it was a cold Arizona morning. Marcus and Elena sat with their lawyers in the courtroom. I sat with Maria. They were dressed professionally in suits. I was in my black dress, my hair in a bun, my hands on my purse handles. The judge was a middle-aged white woman, Judge Patricia Morrison. She reviewed the file, then looked over her glasses. This is quite unusual, she said. A mother suing her own children. Marcus's lawyer stood up. Your Honor, Mrs. Martinez is elderly and confused. She doesn't fully understand business matters. My client was only trying to protect her. The judge looked at me. Mrs. Martinez, do you understand what's happening here? I stood up. Yes, Your Honor, I understand perfectly. The judge was surprised. Do you speak English? Yes, for 45 years. I understand business, law, and most importantly, I understand betrayal. There was a stir in the courtroom. The judge struggled not to smile. During the testimony, Maria presented the documents, financial records, emails, text messages. A message Marcus wrote to Jennifer. Mom signed the papers. She has no idea what she's doing. The house will be ours by next month. Mom signed the papers. She has no idea what she's doing. The house will be ours by next month. A message Elena sent to her friend. Using the inheritance money for the Bahamas trip. Mom will never know the difference. I'm using the inheritance money for the Bahamas trip. Mom will never know the difference. The judge silently read through each document. Then he looked at Marcus and Elena. Mr. Martinez. Miss Martinez, he said. This court has seen many things in its lifetime, but such deliberate and systematic deception against a mother is rarely seen. Marcus jumped to his feet. She's lying. She manipulated everything. Sit down, Mr. Martinez, the judge said sternly. Your own messages condemn you. The verdict came quickly. Marcus was ordered to pay me $162,000 plus interest, a total of $185,000. Elena would return the $15,000 she had taken from my father. And most importantly, my 30% stake in the repair shop was officially accepted, and I would have a say in the company's management. As we left the courtroom, Marcus came up to me. I hope you're happy, he said, his voice filled with pain. I hope you're happy. I'm not happy, Marcus, I said. I'm free. There's a big difference. In the spring of 2013, interesting things started happening in my life. I joined the workshop's management. At the first meeting, Marcus looked at me in surprise. What are you doing here? He asked. I own 30%. I have the right to attend meetings. I spoke Spanish with the workers. They liked me because I understood them. And they knew I wasn't just the boss's mom anymore. One day, a young repairman named Javier came to me. Mrs. Rosa, I heard your story. You're brave. I'm not brave, Javier, I said. I'm just tired. Tired of being invisible. Your family, do you miss them? I paused. I thought, every day. But I know they don't miss me. They miss the old Rosa. And that woman is gone. Have you ever had to choose between losing those you love and finding yourself? Which is more painful? In 2014, something strange happened. I received an email from Marcus. Short, formal. Mom, Jennifer is pregnant. You're going to be a grandmother again. I thought you should know. I didn't respond right away. I thought about it for days. Another grandchild. But will I have a relationship with this grandchild? Elena called too, for the first time in 2 years. Mom, you might be really angry with Marcus, but the baby is innocent. Please think about it. I'm thinking, mija. I think about it every day. Then what are you waiting for? Because this time I'll set my own conditions. I'm not the obedient grandmother anymore. The baby was born in November 2014. Olivia, a beautiful name. Marcus sent me a photo. Blonde hair, blue eyes, just like Marcus. I didn't go to the hospital, but I sent a gift, a handmade blanket with Mexican motifs, and a note. To Olivia, from your grandmother. I hope one day I get to meet you. And I hope you don't see me as the woman your mother knew. I'm better than that. Rosa. 3 days later, there was a knock at my door. It was Marcus. He had the baby in his arms. Jennifer was waiting in the car. She wanted to meet you, Marcus said quietly. I took Olivia in my arms. She was so small, so innocent. I looked at her and my eyes filled with tears. Hola, mi amor, I whispered in Spanish. Soy tu abuela. I'm your grandmother. Marcus was watching. Then, Mom, I'm sorry for everything. I know, Marcus, I said, still looking at Olivia. But an apology isn't enough. Change is needed. I know, I'm trying. I looked at him. Then try. Because this baby needs to grow up like his grandfather. Respectful, honest, like a man who doesn't stay silent when his family lies. Marcus nodded, his eyes teary. The years 2015 to 2018 were a slow period of healing. Marcus and Elena came once a week. They brought Olivia. But there was a distance between us, a loss of trust. They were trying to change. I was trying to forgive. But it wasn't easy. One day Elena asked, Mama, when will things be like they used to be? Never, I said. Because the old me is gone, and the old you are gone too. Now we're building something new, and it will be better than before. Because this time, we're building it with honesty. In 2017, we sold the repair shop. Marcus couldn't manage it. The stress, the guilt, everything was too much. We sold it to a chain company for $850,000. I got my share, $255,000. For the first time in my life, I had that much money of my own. What are you going to do with this money? Marcus asked. I'll do something you'd never even consider, I said. I'll invest in myself. I donated half to an orphanage in Mexico, in Guadalajara, where I grew up, an education fund for girls. With the other half, I opened a small Latino cultural center in Phoenix. We taught English classes, but it wasn't just about language. It was about rights, laws. We told women, you don't have to stay silent. There were 30 women in the first class, all like me, immigrants, mothers, invisible women. My name is Rosa, I said in Spanish, and I stayed silent for 45 years because I thought silence would protect me. But I was wrong. Silence imprisoned me. Speaking up saved me. A woman named Maria raised her hand. But we're afraid of losing our families. I know, I said. I lost mine too. I didn't speak to my children for 2 years. But you know what? I found myself. And if they don't see your true worth, then losing them might just be winning. How much must a woman pay to gain her freedom? And is that freedom worth the price? In 2019, Elena got married to a doctor named Carlos, a good man. And on the wedding invitation she wrote, To Mama, the strongest woman I know, please come. Please forgive me. Please let me start again. Elena. I went to the wedding. I wore a beautiful dress. I had my hair done. And when Elena and I danced, she cried. I'm so sorry, Mama, she said. I was young and stupid and selfish. We all make mistakes, my dear, I said. What matters is learning from them. Do you forgive me? I paused. I thought, I'm trying to forgive you. A little more every day. But I won't forget. Because if I forget, I'll become that woman again. Now it's 2025. I'm 68 years old. Marcus and Jennifer have 3 children. Olivia is 11, Ethan is 8, and little Sophia is 4. Elena and Carlos have a son, Daniel, named after his grandfather. He's 3 years old. I speak Spanish with my grandchildren, but also English, and I tell them stories, real stories. Last week, Olivia asked, "Grandma, why do you teach women about their rights?" "Grandma, why do you teach women about their rights?" "Because, Olivia," I said, looking at her, "once upon a time, I didn't know either. And because I didn't know, people took advantage of me. But then I learned. And when I learned, I became strong." "Who used you?" she asked with innocent eyes. Marcus immediately interrupted. "Olivia, that's not appropriate." "No, Marcus," I said calmly. "If she asked, she deserves an answer." I turned to Olivia. "The people I loved used me. Because I let them. I stayed silent, but then I stopped staying silent." "Were they bad people?" Olivia asked. "No, Cielo. They weren't bad. They were just lost. And sometimes good people do bad things. But you know what the best part is?" "What?" "They can change, if they really want to." I looked at Marcus. He looked at me. And I saw it in his eyes, regret, still. Even years later. But also gratitude. Because I had taught him something, that his mother was strong. Last month we held an event at the Cultural Center. Voices of silence. Women told their stories. A woman, Carmen, 45 years old, took the stage. Her hands were trembling. "My husband," she said in Spanish, then paused. She took a breath. "My husband beat me for 20 years, and I never told anyone, because I was ashamed, because I thought my family would judge me." Silence in the hall. "But when I heard Rosa's story," Carmen continued, "I realized that silence wasn't protecting me. It was killing me. Last year, I left my husband. And now, for the first time in 45 years, I am free." The room erupted in applause. Carmen cried. I cried too. Because that was it. That was the meaning of my struggle. It wasn't just me. There were thousands of women, lost in silence. And do you think silence is a choice? Or a prison? "This morning," Marcus called. "Mom, I need to talk to you. Can I come over?" "Sure," I said. An hour later, he arrived. But he wasn't alone. Jennifer, Elena, and Carlos were there too, all with serious expressions. My heart raced. What happened? Marcus pulled out an envelope. "Mom, we've been talking, all of us, and we realized something." "Mom, we've been talking, all of us, and we realized something." He opened the envelope. There were documents inside. "This is the deed to your house." Marcus said, "We want you to know, officially and legally, that this house is yours. No clauses, no conditions, no first right of refusal. Just yours." I looked at the document. Indeed, that clause in Daniel's will had been removed, with court approval. "Why?" I asked. Elena stepped forward. "Because, Mama, we took that right from you, and we want to give it back, even if it's late." My eyes filled with tears. You did this for me?" "Yes," said Marcus, "because you taught us something. You taught us that respect isn't given because someone is quiet. It's earned through honesty. And Mom, you've earned ours. Finally." I hugged them. 4 people, my family, broken, wounded, but healing. "Gracias," I whispered. "Pero saben que es lo más importante. But do you know what's most important?" "What?" Elena asked. "The most important thing isn't that you've changed. It's that you know I'll never go back to silence." Marcus smiled, a real smile for the first time in years. "We know, Mom, and we wouldn't want it any other way." Tonight, I lay down in my bed, I put my head on my pillow, and I thought, 4, 68 years, 45 inches, silence, 10 inches, war, 13 inches, recovery. Was it worth it, you might ask? Every single second. Because that silent woman, That Rosa Martinez who came from Guadalajara with nothing, that woman fought. And not just for herself. There are now over 400 women at our cultural center. We offer 50 classes a week: English, law, labor rights, financial literacy. And I tell every woman the same thing. Silence doesn't protect you. Knowledge protects you. Your voice protects you. Standing up for yourself protects you. Last week, a young girl came. Isabella, 19 years old. Mrs. Rosa, she said in Spanish. My family doesn't want me to go to university. They say, it's not for girls. What should I do? I held her hand. Go, mija. Go and never come back. Because your life is yours. And no one has the right to steal your dreams. But my family. If your family loves you, they'll understand. If they don't, you still have to live your life. Because this is your one and only life. Isabella left. She was accepted to Berkeley University, full scholarship. Last month she emailed me, Mrs. Rosa, I'm here, and I'm free. If it weren't for you, I'd still be sitting at home, living someone else's dreams. Gracias. That's it. That's my legacy. Not money, not a house. Finding my voice, and helping others find theirs. My relationship with Marcus and Elena isn't perfect. There are still tense moments. The scars of old wounds are still there. But now we talk. We really talk. Last Christmas, Marcus gave a speech. The whole family was gathered. The kids, the spouses, everyone. I want to say something, he said. To Mom. He stood up, a glass of wine in his hand. Mom, I spent years thinking I was protecting you, but I was really protecting myself from seeing you as a real person. As someone with thoughts, feelings, and rights. I'm sorry, and I'm grateful. Because you could have just left. You could have cut us out completely. But you fought. You fought for yourself, yes. But you also fought to make us better. And we are, because of you. Everyone clapped. I cried. But this time, they were tears of joy. Now I'll tell you a secret. A secret I've never told anyone. In 2018, while going through Daniel's old notebooks, I found something. A letter, written in 2009, to me, but he never gave it to me. It began, Querida Rosa, dear Rosa, I know you know, I know you've always known, that I speak Spanish around you, thinking you don't understand my English conversations. But sometimes, I catch you smiling at something I said in English. Sometimes, I see you react before translation, and I know. Why don't I say anything? Because maybe you need this. Maybe you need to be invisible to survive. Maybe it's your superpower. And I love you too much to take it away. But know this, my love. When you're ready to speak, I'll be here to listen. And when you're ready to fight, I'll be here to fight with you. I'm sorry I won't be there. I can feel it, Rosa. My heart. It won't last much longer. But you will. You're stronger than all of us. I love you. Always. Daniel. When I read that letter, I cried like I hadn't cried in years. Daniel knew. He always knew. And he protected me. He protected my superpower. Have you ever felt that someone saw you, truly saw you, and loved you just as you are? That feeling is the most beautiful feeling in the world. Today, there's a young mother at the Cultural Center. Maria, 28 years old. She has 2 children. Her husband is cheating on her, but she stays silent. For the children, she says. I asked her, Maria, do you want your children to see you as unhappy and silent? No, but... Then speak up, because they're watching you, and if you stay silent, they'll learn. Silence is normal, and it isn't, mija. It never is. Maria thought. Then, I'm scared. I know. I was scared too. I'm 68 years old, and I still get scared sometimes. But you know what? Fear doesn't mean stop. Fear means be careful. There's a big difference. Now I'll ask you one last question. And I want you to ask this question not just to me, but to yourself. Is there a moment in your life when you chose to be invisible? Did you stay silent because it was easy? because it was safe, because it seemed like there was no other option. And now, looking back, did that silence protect you, or did it imprison you? I am Rosa Martinez. I am 68 years old. I remained silent for 45 years. I have been speaking for 23 years. And let me tell you, speaking up is terrifying. Speaking up can bring loneliness. Speaking up means you might lose those you love. But silence? Silence means losing yourself, and that is the worst kind of loss. My relationship with my children isn't what it used to be. It's better, because now it's real. It's built on honesty, not lies. My grandchildren know me, the real me, the strong, speaking, fighting grandmother. And they're learning. Women don't have to be silent. My cultural center is growing. We have branches in 3 locations in Phoenix. Hundreds of women come, and each one finds her own voice. This is my story. But maybe it's your story too. Maybe in different ways, at different times, but with the same truth. Silence has a price, and that price is yourself. Last night, Olivia asked me, "Grandma, when you were quiet for all those years, were you sad?" "Grandma, when you were quiet for all those years, were you sad?" I thought about it. I wanted to be honest. Sometimes, yes, but mostly I was asleep. I was living, but not alive. Do you understand? Sometimes, yes, but mostly I was asleep. I was living, but not alive. Do you understand? "I think so," she said. "Like when I pretend to be asleep so I don't have to go to school?" "I guess so." "Like when I pretend to be asleep so I don't have to go to school?" I laughed. "Exactly like that, Cielo. Except I did it for 45 years. "Exactly like that, sweetheart. Only I did it for 45 years. "That's a long time to pretend." "Yes, mija. Too long. But you know what?" "What?" When I finally woke up, the world was so beautiful, so bright, even the hard parts, because it was real. Olivia hugged me. "I'm glad you woke up, Grandma." "Me too, mija." "Me too." And that's our end. Or maybe our beginning, because every end is a new beginning. Today I am 68 years old. I live alone, but I am not lonely. I am not rich, but I am getting richer with experiences, with stories, with the light in women's eyes when they find themselves for the first time. Marcus and Elena come every week. Sometimes they're still tense. Sometimes there are still painful moments. But now we're real. We don't wear masks anymore. And me? I look in the mirror every morning, and the woman I see is a woman I recognize. Myself. Finally. Dear listener, I want to tell you one last thing. If you're silent right now for any reason, I know, I see you, and I'm telling you, it's time to find your voice. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day, because your life is too valuable to be a footnote in someone else's plans. And if you're afraid, which is normal, remember, Rosa Martinez was afraid too, at 68 years old, facing the risk of losing her 2 children, but she spoke out anyway. You can do it too. No matter your age, no matter where you are, no matter how much you might seem to have to lose. Speak up, because the greatest loss is never speaking up, never being heard, and never being your true self. My name is Rosa Martinez. I am 68 years old, and I survived silence. You can too. Thank you for listening to this story. If this story touched you, please share it, because maybe somewhere out there, there's another Rosa, lost in silence. And maybe your sharing will be what helps her start speaking. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt invisible? And if so, how did you find your voice? Because every story matters, especially yours.